right, welcome back. Tuesday morning, actually almost Tuesday afternoon. It's right around noon. Probably should be saying happy Wednesday because that's probably the time I'll be uploading this. So happy hump day. Instead of doing springboard sticks today, I'm gonna spend a little bit more time on tumble track to get the legs warmed up. And because I haven't done tumble track in a little while, we'll head over to P-bars, do all the swinging, pirouette, handstand stuff. The main plan for today on all my events is to work on the harder skills that are most likely gonna go at the beginning of my routine. So it's not gonna be a whole lot of sequence work. Might still be a little bit, but the main focus is gonna be the harder stuff. It is usually a little bit more taxing because I got the day off tomorrow. My upper body after yesterday actually feels great. It feels better than it did yesterday. My knees are a little bit sore. However, they did start off a little bit sore yesterday as well. So I'll see how I feel after I warm up on tumble track and maybe the first event. I'm out of practice on there, that's for sure. Maybe I could try and do that in the future is one day when I do 2 back-to-back days, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday, I could do 1 day as springboard sticks to warm my legs and 1 day for tumble track. Probably be a good idea just so I can cover all my bases. Wow, that was hands down the best set of pirouettes I've ever done in my life. Now, yes, I know I'm 26. For those of you who don't know, I'm 26, and those are only pirouettes. But like you've probably seen in the other videos, if you've been watching, I'd always kind of catch and my momentum would always pull me over just a little bit. And every once in a while, yeah, I'd get lucky and be able to go pirouette and kind of stop right there. But I've never done, I think that was 6 in a row. The first 2 were kind of iffy, but I've never done 6 in a row like that went step, step, and I could have stayed there if I wanted to, and then I chose to swing down. Also, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but aside from just wanting to get stronger and more comfortable swinging on P-bars and in a handstand, one of the proposed changes for the next code on parallel bars is that if you swing to handstand, like out of a Healy or a front uprise or a Hanma swing hands, any element that finishes in a swing to a handstand, you're not allowed to hold and then go back the other way to do another skill. You have to swing to handstand and then continue in the same direction and do a pirouette. This is kind of preparation for next year, I guess, because as soon as I read that, I knew that was going to be a big problem for me because of what I just explained, where I do a pirouette and always kind of like fall out of it. All right, reverse. Better. It's always a good feeling when you feel like you're just kind of going through the motions and you surprise yourself a little bit. Like, I feel like I wasn't super focused on trying to make those perfect or better. They were just better. I'm not really sure why. Okay, let's get to it. All right, it's a new angle, right? I've been thinking about it for a little bit, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna put this in the vlog, but I guess if you're hearing me say this, it's obviously in the vlog. I've just been thinking about vault lately, and just at least kind of playing around with it to see how it is. I haven't even thought about vault until, I'm gonna say, the last like couple weeks, I guess. But I haven't actually touched vault or like done anything in actually 2 years. And the last vault that I did was Yurchenko. I did Yurchenko from like fall of 2019 until I retired in April of 22. Well, I stopped vaulting in February of 22 because that's when I got hurt, but officially retired in April of 22. So, gonna start very slow and just kind of see how running, punching off the board feels, a handspring over the table, just to see how my knees hold up. Whoa! I haven't done cause since the summer of 2019. I have no clue what my steps are, so that's gonna take a little bit to figure out before I can actually go over the table. Yes, I went over the table. It definitely wasn't like a full run. It's one thing to run on floor for a pass, which I don't really do because I'm only allowed to take like 4 steps max, otherwise I go out of the floor. So I need to make sure I keep the numbers low because quads, hip flexors, hamstrings, knees, ankles, all that stuff down there is not used to being that explosive from running. It's usually just thinking about a nice tight quick punch and a land, and that's it. Fucked up my run and stutter stepped again. Oh, fuck. Okay, unfortunately, I just missed the last one. I thought it was gonna take a little bit to go and actually figure out my steps, but I think I figured it out. I'm starting a lot closer than I did before. The other problem was when I vaulted last and I did Yurchenkos, I didn't sprint into Yurchenkos. I actually kind of ran similar to how I do on floor, whereas when I used to do causes on vault, sprint as fast as I could, hit the table as hard as I could, and pray basically. That's probably what threw me off at the start. Right, now that I'm pretty sure I have my steps, I'm not full out sprinting, but I feel comfortable enough to actually go over the table. I'm gonna try a tucked cause. I was thinking about warming up with handsprings, but I never really did handsprings before unless it looked like that, so it's kind of pointless. We're just gonna see what happens. Oh my God!
A little low on the floor.
I felt that right away. It didn't hurt though. Like,
Bad?
my God. Okay, it can't get worse than that. It's only up from here. All right, this is my last one. Chances are, if you know me and you knew me when I did causes, I'm trying to do it a little bit differently, just basically because I'm already starting from scratch. Basically, what I was taught when I was younger is as you're hurdling, you want to bring your chest back and your arms back, and then as you're punching, you kind of like slam straight into the table while trying to get your heels up as fast as you can. As long as I keep going with vault and I don't wake up tomorrow unable to walk, I'll explain a lot more as I'm doing more vault, but basically instead of trying to really quickly lean into the table while I got my heels up, I'm trying to punch on the board regardless of whether I have my chest forward or up. And when I punch, I drop my chest down as fast as I can and then focus on the heel drive after. But when I did causes, I feel like the heel drive, not that I didn't have to worry about it, but it was one of the stronger parts of my vault, if that makes sense. Any like hitting like off the table. Okay, now I'm actually done. I just have one more little idea that I kind of wanted to try. All right, on to the next event. I think I'm gonna go to P-bars. Wanted to do free hips and drop casts and Hondas today, but I have a pretty big built-up callus on my hand from all the support stuff that I do, and trying to shave it down and get rid of like the really thick dead skin so it didn't rip. I was able to do that, but this is my first hand that hits on the vault, and I guess I hit hard enough that there's just like a tiny little split, and it's not that bad, but I don't want to go into a free hip and then like it actually rips. So I'm just gonna get to do some more support stuff, and then I would like to do a little bit of Haradas just to catch a couple. I'm confident that I can still do them, but I do need to get back to doing them more regularly so I can get my shoulders used to doing more upper arm stuff, but that'll be it for P's. Before I get into the whole support sequence, I'm telling you guys right now, and I'm not gonna switch up on this, I'm going to make a couple good DOMs that I feel good about, that I know will set me up well for the DOM and a quarter before I do DOM and a quarter. Cut. how they were before, where I'm starting to kick way too early and not letting myself rock back enough. I think because I know I have a problem with not finishing the push off with my right arm and then not doing enough with my post arm. Probably subconsciously I'm doing less rocking back because I know that's gonna make it harder for me to push back. Maybe that's why I don't feel comfortable pushing back with either of my arms, is I'm not leaning back enough to actually be able to do that. Because if I don't lean back at all and I push back, I'm just gonna pitch and go straight forwards. Maybe that's what I should be starting with, at least until I really am comfortable is going back from the swing. That feels more like how I wanted it, still dropping back, but I think that'll be a good habit to start with, regardless of whether I'm doing it in a sequence or by itself. It's clearly not ready to just hop into the skills and sequences and just hope for the best. I haven't built up a good enough habit yet, I guess. Nice job. If you couldn't tell, DOMs were annoying me today. I don't really want to talk about it, but they ended a lot better than they started. I'm gonna do a couple haradas and go to high bar, or pommel. Very nice, Jake. Good, Jake.
Still a 3 for angle.
Hold on, bro. Nice! Oh!
I couldn't think of anything, dude. I thought my hands were
Okay, practice is obviously over. You're probably wondering why it's light out or how it's still light out. I forgot to film the outro the other day. Today's actually Thursday morning for me. From what I remember, Tuesday was pretty good. I feel like the things that stood out the most probably was Pommel horse, honestly, which is a good sign because last week on Pommels didn't really get anything done, so it's nice to get some progress there. Everything else, I don't need to give you guys the recap. You just watched it. But there actually won't be any more vlogs for the rest of this week because Wednesdays I take the day off, and usually I practice on Thursday before we leave on Friday. But we're actually leaving to go to Indianola, Iowa to compete against Simpson College on Saturday. But we are leaving today, Thursday afternoon. Don't need to go into the details for the reason why, but we have to leave today. And I could have practiced beforehand, but we are leaving at noon. So I could have done a little bit, but instead I just worked out in Edwardsville where I live at the gym, because also that split on my hand that I was talking about, you can barely see it. It's really not that big, but I can tell it's one of those splits or cuts that if I don't let it heal right from the start and I just try and push through it, it's going to continue to like crack over and over and over, and probably not going to get another chance to take 4 days off or whatever until our next competition, and I don't want to wait another 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm sucking it up and doing it now. But that is it for this vlog. That is it for this week. It was a short week, but it was a good week, and I'm just going to use these 4 or 5 days off to really let my hand heal and just keep stretching and doing some rehab exercises. It always helps to do stuff like that. Word of the day, let's go forgetful, because I reminded myself like 3 times that I was going to film this outro and I still forgot. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you early Monday morning next week. Peace.